Hi, welcome to Radiant Mind Academy. My name is Goodluck. In today's video, we'll discuss about the concept of indices. Let A be a real number such that A is not equal to 0. The number of times in which A is multiplied by itself is called the index of A. First, if A multiplied by A multiplied by A multiplied by A, that means A multiplied itself 4 times. We are saying that the letter A is known as the base, while the index or the letter 4 is known as what? As the power. Now, for us to be able to understand this simple concept of indices, we must have to know the laws of indices. The first law of indices is known as the multiplication law. The multiplication law. The law states that when multiplying two numbers with the same base, you add their powers. So if you multiply two numbers that have the same base, you add their powers. For example, if I have A raised to the power m multiplied by A raised to the power n, you can see that A here raised to the power n, A raised to the power m all have the same base, so we add their powers. So we have A raised to the power n plus n. This is the multiplication law of indices. So if we use a real example, if I have 2 raised to the power 3 multiplied by 2 raised to the power 2, this will be equal to 2 raised to the power 3 plus 2, 2 raised to the power 5. So when two numbers multiply themselves having the same base, we add their powers. The second law we have is known as the division law. The division law. The law states that when dividing two numbers with the same base, you subtract their powers. So for example, if I have A raised to the power m divided by A raised to the power n, I'm going to have A raised to the power n minus n. So whereas the law states that if we have the same base dividing themselves, then you subtract their powers. So using the example we have 2 raised to the power 3 divided by 2 raised to the power 2. This is given as 2 raised to the power 3 minus 2 equal to 2 raised to the power 1. So this is known as the division law. The third law we have is known as the power law. The power law. The power law states that when you raise a number with an index to another power, you multiply the indices. So what do I mean by that? If I have the value A raised to an index of m and also raised to a power of n, what we do is that we multiply the indices. So we have A raised to the power of m multiplied by n, which we have A m n. So for example, if I have 2 raised to the power of 3 or raised to the power of 2, this will be 2 raised to the power of 3 times 2 equal to 2 raised to the power of 6. That is the power law of indices. The fourth law we have is the negative power law. The negative power law. And the law states that When a base is raised to a negative power, it is equivalent to the reciprocal of the base raised to the corresponding positive power. So this means that if I have my base a raised to a negative power n, we say this is equal to the reciprocal of the base raised to a corresponding positive power. So if a is raised to a negative power, it is written as 1 divided by a raised to that positive power. This is known as the negative power law. So if I have 2 raised to the power negative 2, this can be written as 1 divided by 2 raised to the power 2. Number 5 is the fractional index law. Fractional index law. The law states that when a base is raised to a fractional power, the numerator represents the power and the denominator represents the root. So if I have a to the power of m divided by n, we are saying that the numerator represents the power and the denominator represents the root. So we have, this will be root n of a all raised to the power of 4 of n. So for example, if I have 2 raised to the power 2 divided by 3, we have a fractional index. We are saying that the numerator being 2 is the power and the denominator being 3 is the root. So I will have this written as the cube root of 2 all raised to the power of 2. So this is known as the fractional index law. The sixth law we have is known as the zero power law. The zero power law. The law states that if any non-zero base is raised to the power of 0, it is equal to 1. So we say if any non-zero base is raised to the power of 0, that value is equal to 1. So for example, if I have a to the power of 0, this is equal to 1. Hence, where a is not equal to 0, because the value must be a non-zero base. So if I have 2 to the power of 0, is equal to 1. Any value to the power of 0 is 1. And the last but not the least is known as the product power law. Product power law. The product power law. So the law states that when a product of terms is raised to a power, you apply the power to each of the terms separately. So if I have a multiplied by b raised to the power of n, we are saying that the power is applied to each of the terms separately. So we have a raised to the power n multiplied by b raised to the power n. So if I have 2 times 3 all raised to the power of 3, this can be written as 2 raised to the power 3 multiplied by 3 raised to the power 3. This is how we express the product power law. I think this has given us an insight on how we can use the laws of indices. In the next video, we are going to apply these laws to some simplification of indices, and you will see how important it is to know these laws. Do not forget to subscribe, like this video, and share it. See you in the next one.